Hello, great minds. It's my pleasure to be right in front of your face today again on another episode of our podcast series, Finding Your Drive Back. And with me once again is my lovely wife, Mrs. Oluwabunmi Ajiboye.
Thank you. It's so good to be here once again.
Yeah. Yesterday was Mother's Day. It was amazing. It was a wonderful time to celebrate the mothers. And I truly wanted my wife to be in the Bahamas to celebrate. But somehow the cash crunch stopped us from going.
You can actually do transfer.
We are right here, not in the Bahamas, but we are in Bahamas. There's Bahamas and there's Bahamas. So we're in Bahamas and we are celebrating. We celebrated Mother's Day in the Bahamas yesterday. And I'm sure you enjoyed yourself, right?
I know. You didn't.
Oh, no, don't worry. Next time we'll get there. We definitely would get there somehow, someday. So it's my pleasure once again. Last week, we talked about finding your drive back, and the first episode basically talked about finding that one thing that makes you, gets you motivated. I talked about the fact that music helps me find my drive back. Whenever I play live music, I'm always happier. I'm always livelier. And she talked about the fact that writing helps her, reading helps her to connect. And I also said something, we said something about the fact that whatever that drive would be, whatever will motivate you has to be something that also connects you to people. You cannot be motivated in isolation. You cannot be motivated on your own. You have to be connected to people, and that drive must connect you to people. That motivation must connect you to people so you can make impact. And it's truly an impact that will find that drive and that motivation, right? There?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, but today we are moving further to talk about yet another way to find your drive back. And this is one of the very, very foundational ways to find your drive back. The truth is, we are built in one thing. We are built in communities. We are built in environments. We are built in society. So the truth is, every society has an environment. Every community has an environment. An environment is also made up of people, places, and things. So the truth is, for every human, the core of our being rests in people, places, and things. Those are the things that directly impact us. And, I sometimes back was thinking that a lot of things happen to us because of the environment we find ourselves, right?
That's true.
A lot of things happen to us because of the places we go to, because of the people we meet, and also because of the things we either hear, see, or experience. And the truth is, every human has a tendency to be great. Now, let me not even say tendency. Every human has a potential to be great. But we are affected or impacted by what we call constraints. Constraints are the things that impact us. And constraints are basically in environments. And environments contain people, places, and things. For example, one of those constraints, that you get to hear every day, most times, in most average families, is they tell you anyone who is rich is a thief. Right? They tell you anyone who is wealthy is a thief. So the moment you step out of that environment and find a wealthy person, the first thing that comes to your mind is that man is a thief.
That's true.
So we need to get to a point in time in our lives where we sit down and dot the I's and cross the T's and tell ourselves we no longer will function based on the constraints that we have placed for ourselves or that has been placed for us either knowingly or unknowingly. For example, a lot of times, and I mean it, a lot of times, we respond to the things that our parents have laid as foundations for us without necessarily questioning those standards or those ideas or those values. And eventually, those values, standards, and ideas form the core of our being. For example, there was a woman who was asked, "Why do you cut your chicken into tiny bits before frying them?"
Okay.
And, she said, she thought about it for a while and said, that's the way she saw her own mother do it. So somehow they asked the mother. The mother said that's the way she saw her own mother also do it. And when they asked the great-grandmother, to the first person that was asked, she said she was cutting it that way because her frying pan is small. So now, there was no point in time where someone had to wake up and question that system. Yes, the frying pan was small for the great-grandmother. But over the years, bigger frying pans have been made, but nobody questioned it. So most times we leave out people's experiences based on the environments we find ourselves.
That's true.
So for some people, they are naturally sad because in the environment or the family or the kind of friends or the kind of places or the things they hear are practically based on sadness. They hardly can get themselves out of depression because by default, there is a programming in their mind that tells you that being sad is the normal thing.
Some even have, they want to be great.
Yes.
They have dreams. They have goals that they want to achieve.
Very
but
true.
Most times they just give up. And it's not their fault. It's just because the people around them are not supportive.
Exactly.
Let me call it, they have negative people around them. People that they don't have this
With
positive
minds.
mindset. So you just have to, it's not easy. When you notice that you know where you are going to in life, you just have to look at the people around you. Do they have the kind of mindset that you have? Will they be able to fit in your goals or in your dreams? So it's something that it's necessary for us to know as humans. You have to know the kind of people you work with in your environment.
Very true, very true. So the truth is you have to know the kind of people you work with. But the also, would I say, clearer truth is the beauty of this entire thing is understanding that, first of all, you need to work on your mind. Because if you are not able to conquer your mind, then how then will you know what is necessary for your being?
That's true.
And one of the ways to conquer your mind is to, first of all, understand your problem. First of all, you have to understand your problem. Like someone who grew up thinking that every rich person is a thief, you need to, first of all, come to a point where you understand that not every rich person is a thief. And how do you achieve that? You be around people, you network.
Yes.
You network with people. When you network with people, you now understand that there are people who are rich legitimately.
Yeah, that's true.
So that goes away to destroy that particular mindset.
So even when people are talking about it, you'll be able to stand against their word that no, this is not true.
Yeah,
you have seen the light.
You have seen the light. You have seen the light.
Yes.
So the truth is, you need to defeat that mindset. You know, for example, I never believed in my life that I could ever earn ₦1 million from a business deal. So the day I earned ₦1 million from a business deal, I was afraid. I kept looking at my account balance that day. I was looking,
Even after that day.
Even after that day, you know, it was looking like it's not true. You know, the shock was not that I earned the money. The shock was that my mind did not believe that I earned such money.
Or some things that made you to believe that before you can earn such money, you must
steal.
do this. Not you even steal. Like you must maybe work in a particular
very true,
place.
True.
You must, you can't be an entrepreneur and earn that much
money. And this happened practically because my upbringing, I'm not saying my upbringing was bad or something, no. But, both of my parents happened to be lecturers. They had to work day in, day out to get paid. So my mind could not believe that I didn't have to work day in, day out to earn what they probably would have earned in 2 months in one deal.
That's true.
So some of these things, it has to do with the programming of our minds. The programming of your mind now affects your thought pattern. The things you think about. For example, someone who has never dreamt about owning 500,000 naira will never think about 500,000 naira. If your programming has never seen you owning or earning a million naira, your thought pattern will never think about things that will help you earn a million naira. So your thoughts from the programming of your mind to the programming of your mind affects your thought pattern. Your thought pattern affects your feelings, the way you feel. That's why I thought when I saw a million naira, in earnings on my alert, I felt uncomfortable first because of the programming of my mind that says you must work day in, day out for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or 180 days or 270 days or 360 days before you can earn even half that amount or that amount. So the feeling was like, here, now so it be, I don't turn thief. My mind when they do me like, say I be thief. I was very uncomfortable with it. But the truth is, the feelings will eventually affect your actions. So it's your actions that will now determine. Your actions, is like a result of the programming of your mind, your thoughts, your feelings. So your action is like the summation of everything. Your result is like the summation of everything also. So the programming of your mind, your feelings, your thoughts will determine the kind of results you will get. Your thoughts to your feelings to your action. It's your feelings that will now tell you this is what you should do. Which will now determine the kind of results you will get.
That's why it's necessary for people to be exposed.
Exposure is key. Exposure is key. For everything you want to do in life, find more knowledge. Get exposed.
Knowledge.
Open up to several ideas of that particular thing. For example, I do photography. There's what they call exposure. And if there's a likelihood we'll even expose this video a bit so that you'll see it more clear. English won't finish for her. So you see it more clearer or more clearly. So that's what exposure does. When you are exposed, you see things more clearly. So the truth is, in finding your drive back, you need to understand that being around the right people, being in the right places, and being exposed to the right things, that's the things you see, the things you hear, the things you experience, is very, very important. You can find yourself around people who will practically tell you that your pursuits are not worth it. I've been around people who told me that this thing you are chasing, this your music and media thing, is just a waste of time. If I had believed them, we won't get to where we are today. I am not saying I've reached the final destination, but I'm happy that I'm not where I used to be. If you check my videos in the past, you will see that my videos in the past are not like my videos currently, right? So the truth is, if you find yourself around the right people, in the right places, and exposed to the right things, the things you see, the things you hear, the things you experience, then eventually getting out of depression or finding your drive back would not be difficult. My sweetheart, anything to add to this?
You have said it all, actually. I think one of the things people...
I thought you said I've said it all. Okay, so...
we need to know is that you will find yourself in some environments that you just have to build your own mindset. So when people are talking, they are saying things that are not aligned with your vision and with your dreams, you'll be able to stand against them so that you won't allow anyone, you know where you are going to, so don't allow anyone to discourage you from where you are going to.
So you'll be able to stand against them. You will also be able to walk away from them. There are some places you have to walk away from. There are some people you don't have to necessarily sit down and argue with, because the truth is nobody understands where you're going to. They may know where you are coming from.
That's true.
but they will definitely not understand where you're going to. I remember back then, someone started a business, and other people saw that he was making a lot of profit, and they also wanted to do the same business. But unfortunately, they knew how to start the business, but how to run it. He had a 3 years plan on how to grow the business. But they started because they were driven by the profit they were seeing he was making. Instead of being driven by the goals and the strategies that he had in place. So the truth is, people will know where you are coming from. I know, in fact, some people who even watched my bum when I was small, they can be watching this podcast now. But the truth is, where I am yearning to get to in life, nobody has an idea, because it is a factor of revelation. It is a factor of hunger. It is a factor of goals. It is a factor of ambitions. It is a factor of desires. And it is a factor of strategies.
That's true.
So please, as you chase your way up the ladder, as you move up the ladder, understand that your drive must not be tampered with. But just in case it is tampered with, don't forget that your environment plays a very huge role in determining whether you will find it back or not, and how fast you will find it back or not. So it's our joy that you were able to join the second episode of our podcast series, Finding Your Drive Back. And we truly hope that you found value, you got value, and I hope that you will drop a comment and also share this video with as many people as you can on every social media channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp. Please share this podcast series. Any other thing to add there?
No, nothing.
You have said it all. So it's my joy to have a lovely day and a lovely week ahead. Make sure you keep that fire burning. Don't let anybody sweep you off your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, and your passion for living and passion for true impact. My name is Oluwatobi Ajiboye, also known as Basic T. I'm Africa's #1 bass guitar mentor and music coach. I am a professional content creator, professional live streamer, and a professional virtual conferencing service provider. We're shooting this video right here at the Soundbank Multipurpose Media Room, your one-stop shop for all your music and media needs, from podcasts to live streaming to virtual conferencing to session photography to documentary shoots and lots more. And this is my dear wife. Let her introduce herself this time properly.
Bumi Ajiboye. I'm a writer. I'm a ghost writer. I'm a editor. Yes. Oh. Go and Google that. I'm an editor. I'm a baker. I'm good in cooking. Abby.
I prepare beans better than you, Sha. Yeah, she's an amazing woman, my dear wife, mother of 2 wonderful children, and they are right now in school. And we are glad that we can do this together. If they were not in school. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do have a lovely week ahead. Bye.
Bye-bye.